Joshua chapter 12. Now these are the kings of the land whom the sons of Israel defeated, and whose land they possessed beyond the Jordan toward the sunrise, from the valley of the Arnon as far as Mount Hermon, and all the Arabah to the east. Sihon, king of the Amorites, who lived in Heshbon, and ruled from Aroer, which is on the edge of the valley of the Arnon, both the middle of the valley and half of Gilead, even as far as the brook Jabbok, the border of the sons of Ammon, and the Arabah as far as the sea of Chitteroth towards the east, and as far as the sea of the Arabah, even the salt sea, eastward toward Beth-Jegemoth, and on the south at the foot of the slopes of Pisgah, and the territory of Og, king of Bashan, one of the remnant of Rephaim, who lived at Ashtaroth and at Edrei, and ruled over Mount Hermon, and Salakah, and all Bashan as far as the border of the Geshurites and the Maccathites, and half of Gilead as far as the border of Sihon, king of Heshbon. Moses, the servant of the Lord, and the sons of Israel defeated them, and Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave it to the Reubenites and the Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh as a possession. Now these are the kings of the land whom Joshua and the sons of Israel defeated beyond the Jordan toward the west, from Baal-Gad in the valley of Lebanon, even as far as Mount Halak, which rises towards Seir, and Joshua gave it to the tribes of Israel as a possession according to their divisions, in the hill country, in the lowland, in the Arabah, on the slopes, and in the wilderness, and in the Negev, the Hittite, the Amorite, and the Canaanite, the Perizzite, the Hivite, and the Jebusite, the king of Jericho, 1, the king of Ai, which is beside Bethel, 1, the king of Jerusalem, 1, the king of Hebron, 1, the king of Jarmuth, 1, the king of Lachish, 1, the king of Eglon, 1, the king of Gezer, 1, the king of Deber, 1, the king of Geder, 1, the king of Hormah, 1, the king of Arad, 1, the king of Libnah, 1, the king of Adullam, 1, the king of Makkedah, 1, the king of Bethel, 1, the king of Tappuah, 1, the king of Hepher, 1, the king of Aphek, 1, the king of Lasharon, 1, the king of Madon, 1, the king of Hazor, 1, the king of Shiran-Miron, 1, the king of Ashaph, 1, the king of Tanakh, 1, the king of Megiddo, 1, the king of Kedesh, 1, the king of Jokneam in Carmel, 1, the king of Dor in the heights of Dor, 1, the king of Goam in Gilgal, 1, the king of Tirzah, 1, in all 31 kings. Joshua chapter 13. Now Joshua was old and advanced in years when the Lord said to him, You are old and advanced in years, and very much of the land remains to be possessed. This is the land that remains, all the regions of the Philistines and all those of the Gershurites, from the Shihor, which is east of Egypt, even as far as the border of Ekron to the north. It is counted as Canaanite. The 5 lords of the Philistines, the Gazite, the Ashdodite, the Ashkelonite, the Gittite, the Ekronite, and the Avite, to the south, all the land of the Canaanite, and Mira, that belongs to the Sidonians as far as Aphek to the border of the Amorite, and the land of the Gebelite, and all of Lebanon, toward the east from Baal-Gad below Mount Hermon, as far as Lebo-Hamath, all the inhabitants of the hill country from Lebanon as far as Mizrapoth-Mim, all the Sidonians. I will drive them out from before the sons of Israel. Only allot it to Israel for an inheritance, as I have commanded you. Now therefore, apportion this land for an inheritance to the 9 tribes and the half-tribe of Manasseh. With the other half-tribe, the Reubenites and the Gadites received their inheritance, which Moses gave them, beyond the Jordan to the east, just as Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave to them, from Aroer, which is on the edge of the valley of the Arnon, with the city, which is in the middle of the valley, and all the plain of Medeba as far as Deepen, and all the cities of Sihon, king of the Amorites, who reigned in Heshbon, as far as the border of the sons of Ammon, and Gilead, and the territory of the Geshurites and the Maccathites, and all Mount Hermon, and all Bashan as far as Salakah, all the kingdoms of Og and Bashan, who reigned in Ashtaroth and in Edrei. He alone was left of the remnant of the Rephaim, for Moses struck them and dispossessed them. But the sons of Israel did not dispossess the Geshurites or the Maccathites, for Geshur and Maccath live among Israel until this day. Only to the tribe of Levi he did not give an inheritance. The offerings by fire to the Lord, the God of Israel, are their inheritance, as he spoke to him. So Moses gave an inheritance to the tribe of the sons of Reuben according to their families. Their territory was from Aroer, which is on the edge of the valley of the Arnon, with the city which is in the middle of the valley, and all the plain by Medeba, Heshbon and all its cities which are on the plain, Dibon and Bamoth Baal and Beth Baal Meon, and Jahaz and Kedemoth and Mathath and Kiriathaim and Sibmah and Zerath Sherha on the hill of the valley, and Beth Peor and the slopes of Pisgah and Beth Jeshemoth, even all the cities of the plain, and all the kingdom of Sihon, king of the Amorites, who reigned in Heshbon, whom Moses struck with the chiefs of Midian, Evi and Rechem and Zur and Hur and Reba, the princes of Sihon, who lived in the land. The sons of Israel also killed Balaam the son of Beor the diviner with the sword among the rest of their slain. The border of the sons of Reuben was the Jordan. This was the inheritance of the sons of Reuben according to their families, the cities and their villages. Moses also gave an inheritance to the tribe of Gad, to the sons of Gad according to their families. Their territory was Jazer, and all the cities of Gilead, and half the land of the sons of Ammon, as far as Aroer, which is before Rabbah, and from Heshbon as far as Ramath Mizpah and Betanim, and from Mahanaim as far as the border of Debir, and in the valley Beth Haram and Beth Nimrah and Succoth and Zaphon, the rest of the kingdom of Sihon, king of Heshbon, with the Jordan as a border, as far as the lower end of the sea of Chinnereth, beyond the Jordan to the east. This is the inheritance of the sons of Gad, according to their families, the cities and their villages. Moses also gave an inheritance to the half-tribe of Manasseh, and it was for the half-tribe of the sons of Manasseh, according to their families. Their territory was from Mahanaim, all Bashan, all the kingdom of Og, king of Bashan, and all the towns of Jair, which are in Bashan, 60 cities. Also half of Gilead, with Ashtaroth and Edrei, the cities of the kingdom of Og in Bashan, were for the sons of Machir, the son of Manasseh, for half of the sons of Machir, according to their families. These are the territories which Moses apportioned for an inheritance in the plains of Moab, beyond the Jordan at Jericho to the east. But to the tribe of Levi Moses did not give an inheritance. The Lord, the God of Israel, is their inheritance, as he had promised to them. Joshua chapter 14. Now these are the territories which the sons of Israel inherited in the land of Canaan, which Eleazar the priest and Joshua the son of Nun, and the heads of the households of the tribes of the sons of Israel, apportioned to them for an inheritance, by the lot of their inheritance, as the Lord commanded through Moses, for the 9 tribes and the half-tribe. For Moses had given the inheritance of the 2 tribes and the half-tribe beyond the Jordan, but he did not give an inheritance to the Levites among them. For the sons of Joseph were 2 tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim, and they did not give a portion to the Levites in the land, except cities to live in, with their pasture lands for their livestock and for their property. Thus the sons of Israel did just as the Lord had commanded Moses, and they divided the land. Then the sons of Judah drew near to Joshua in Gilgal, and Caleb the son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite said to him, You know the word which the Lord spoke to Moses, the man of God, concerning you and me in Kadesh Barnea. I was 40 years old when Moses, the servant of the Lord, sent me from Kadesh Barnea to spy out the land, and I brought word back to him as it was in my heart. Nevertheless, my brethren who went up with me made the heart of the people melt with fear, but I followed the Lord my God fully. So Moses swore on that day, saying, Surely the land on which your foot is trodden will be an inheritance to you and to your children forever, because you have followed the Lord my God fully. Now behold, the Lord has let me live just as he spoke these 45 years, from the time that the Lord spoke this word to Moses when Israel walked in the wilderness, and now behold, I am 85 years old today. I am still as strong today as I was in the day Moses sent me. As my strength was then, so my strength is now, for war and for going out and coming in. Now then, give me this hill country about which the Lord spoke on that day, for you heard on that day that Anakim were there, with great fortified cities. Perhaps the Lord will be with me, and I will drive them out as the Lord has spoken. So Joshua blessed him and gave Hebron to Caleb the son of Jephunneh for an inheritance. Therefore Hebron became the inheritance of Caleb the son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite until this day, because he followed the Lord God of Israel fully. Now the name of Hebron was formerly Kiriath Arba, for Arba was the greatest man among the Anakim. Then the land had rest from war. Joshua chapter 15. Now the lot for the tribe of the sons of Judah, according to their families, reached the border of Edom, southward toward the wilderness of Zin, at the extreme south. Their south border was from the lower end of the Salt Sea, from the bay that turns to the south. Then it proceeded southward toward the ascent of Akrabim, and continued to Zin, then went up by the south of Kadesh Barnea, and continued to Hezron, and went up to Adar, and turned about to Karka. It continued to Asmon, and proceeded to the brook of Egypt, and the border ended at the sea. This shall be your south border. The east border was the Salt Sea, as far as the mouth of the Jordan, and the border of the north side was from the bay of the sea at the mouth of the Jordan. Then the border went up to Beth Hagla, and continued on the north of Beth Araba, and the border went up to the stone of Bowen, the son of Reuben. The border went up to Deber from the valley of Achor, and turned northward toward Gilgal, which is opposite the ascent of Adummim, which is on the south of the valley. And the border continued to the waters of En-Shemesh, and it ended in En-Rogel. Then the border went up to the valley of Ben-Hinnom, to the slope of the Jebusite on the south, that is, Jerusalem. And the border went up to the top of the mountain, which is before the valley of Hinnom, to the west, which is at the end of the valley of Rephaim toward the north. From the top of the mountain the border curved to the spring of the waters of Nephtoah, and proceeded to the cities of Mount Ephron. Then the border curved to Bela, that is, Kiriath Jearim. The border turned about from Baal westward to Mount Seir, and continued to the slope of Mount Jearim on the north, that is, Chesalon, and went down to Beth Shemesh, and continued through Timnah. The border proceeded to the side of Ekron northward. Then the border curved to Shikharon, and continued to Mount Bela, and proceeded to Jebneel, and the border ended at the sea. The west border was at the Great Sea, even its coastline. This is the border around the sons of Judah, according to their families. Now he gave to Caleb the son of Jephunneh a portion among the sons of Judah, according to the command of the Lord to Joshua, namely, Kiriath Arba, Arba being the father of Anak, that is Hebron. Caleb drove out from there the three sons of Anak, Shishai and Ahiman and Talmi, the children of Anak. Then he went up from there against the inhabitants of Deber. Now the name of Deber formerly was Kiriath Sepher. And Caleb said, the one who attacks Kiriath Sepher and captures it, I will give him Asham, my daughter, as a wife. Othniel, the son of Kenaz, the brother of Caleb, captured it, so he gave him Asha, his daughter, as a wife. It came about that when she came to him, she persuaded him to ask her father for a field. So she alighted from the donkey, and Caleb said to her, what do you want? Then she said, give me a blessing, since you have given me the land of the Negev. Give me also springs of water. So he gave her the upper springs and the lower springs. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the sons of Judah, according to their families. Now the cities at the extremity of the tribe of the sons of Judah toward the border of Edom in the south were Kabzeel and Eder and Jagur, and Kenah and Dimona and Adadah, and Kedesh and Hazor and Ithnan, Ziph and Telem and Beloth and Hazor Hadattah, and Kiriath Hazron, that is Hazor, Ammon and Shema and Maladah, and Hazor Gaddah and Heshman and Beth Pelet, and Hazor Shul and Beersheba and Biziothia, Bela and Eam and Ezem and Eltalah and Chezel and Hormah and Ziklag and Magmanah and Sansannah and Lebaoth and Shillam and Ain and Rimmon, in all 29 cities with their villages. In the lowland, Eshtaol and Zorah and Ashna and Zanoah and En-Ganon and Tapua and Enam, Jarmuth and Adullam, Succo and Azekah and Sharim and Adathim and Gedera and Gederathim, 14 cities with their villages. Zenan and Hadash and Migdalgad and Delene and Mizpah and Joktheel, Lachish and Boskath and Eglon and Cabin and Lamas and Chitlish and Gederoth, Bethdagon and Nama and Makkedah, 16 cities with their villages. Libnah and Ether and Asha and Iphta and Ashna and Nezib and Keilah and Azib and Marishah, 9 cities with their villages. Ekron with its towns and its villages, from Ekron even to the sea, all that were by the side of Ashdod with their villages. Ashdod, its towns and villages. Gaza, its towns and villages, as far as the brook of Egypt and the great sea, even its coastline. In the hill country, Shamer and Jadder and Soka and Dana and Kiriath Sana, that is Deber, and Anib and Edamah and Anam and Goshem and Holon and Gilo, 11 cities with their villages. Arab and Duma and Eshan and Janam and Beth Tappuah and Aphekah and Humta and Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, and Zior, 9 cities with their villages. Maon, Carmel, and Ziph, and Judah, and Jezreel, and Jokdeam, and Zanoah, Cain, Gibeah, and Timnah, 10 cities with their villages. Halhol, Beth Zur, and Gedor, and Merath, and Bethanath, and Eltekon, 6 cities with their villages. Kiriath Baal, that is Kiriath Jearim, and Rabbah, 2 cities with their villages. In the wilderness, Beth Arabah, Midden, and Sakakah, and Nibshan, and the city of Salt, and Engedi, 6 cities with their villages. Now as for the Jebusites, the inhabitants of Jerusalem, the sons of Judah could not drive them out, so the Jebusites live with the sons of Judah at Jerusalem until this day.